everybody, welcome to my video. This is what you're going to need for African peanut stew. This is peanut butter, creamy, garlic, ground cayenne pepper. This is 2 chicken bouillons, tomato paste, stewed tomatoes, and onion. So the first thing you do is you want to grab whatever kind of meat that you want in there. You don't have to have meat at all. And I just chose to pan fry these 100% Angus steaks. And there's just a little oil, sriracha, teriyaki sauce, and a little soy sauce that these are going to cook in. And you don't have to make meat. A lot of times they do put chicken in it, but they'll make it with any kind of vegetable as well. So you just want to get these cooked up nicely. I made 4, one Colton ate for lunch, so I made that one a little bit more cooked through. That would be well done, I believe. So yeah, just cook these up. And then when you're done cooking them up, just cut them into strips. And then you can eat them with your stew. I don't like to eat the meat. I don't like to keep the meat inside the stew, because I don't always like to have meat with my stew. So I'm just checking it, and they're done. So I thought I'd ended up filming prior to this, but I just put some oil in the pan, the oil that was left over from the meat, and I put it in this pan, and then my finely chopped onions I put in there as well. And then I'm adding some cayenne peppers, and you want to get these to caramelize. You want them to be translucent. You want them to be flimsy. You don't want a lot of crunch left to your onions with this recipe. So once they start cooking, I added in the bouillon, which had a little bit of water in it because I tried to mix it together, and then garlic. You don't want to burn your garlic, but you want the garlic flavor to be in there. And so you can see these are getting nice and tender. Once they're tender enough, go ahead and put your stewed tomatoes in. Normally I would cut up Roma tomatoes and use those, but I thought maybe stewed tomatoes would work, so I figured I'd try it this time. And so you just incorporate it all together, and you want it to cook down a little bit. You want to get rid of some of that water that comes out of those tomatoes. So just let it cook down for like 5-10 minutes. And I'm just showing you how I cut up my steak. That's 3 of them then, because Colton ate one. It's gonna cook, and the reason why you want it to cool down, or some of the water to go down, is because you're gonna be making like a paste with this now. So you see how I turned my stove to low? Because I'm going to be adding my tomato paste, and you do not want to burn the tomato paste or the entire recipe is ruined. So I'm just showing you how cool I am, and I take both sides of the lids off of the tomato paste, and it makes it so much easier to get your tomato paste out. Now you're only supposed to use a half of a canister of tomato paste, but I like to use the entire thing because I like tomatoes a lot, and I've cooked this recipe for at least 3 years. Several times a year, and I always just do it the same way. The new thing I added this time was those stewed tomatoes instead of fresh tomatoes. So you see how it's coming into a paste. You kind of want it to be pasty. You don't want it to be soupy at this point. And you also don't want to burn it, so make sure your stove is on low. So get that all incorporated into a paste, and you see how thick and beautiful that is? Oh my god, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And this is a very important step. Now you add the peanut butter. You're only supposed to add about 3/4 of a cup, but I add the entire cup because I like peanut butter as well. And this is my recipe, this is how I've made it since I learned it. So stir it up thick. It's nice and thick paste you got going on, and it smells amazing. It just smells like, I don't know, peanut butter onion. It smells like peanut butter stew. It's amazing. So then what you're going to do is you're going to make it in the stew. You know, you're going to add some water. You want to stir it up real good so that there's no lumps left. That peanut butter's thick, so just turn it up a little bit, and a little bit more heat is going to help you get all the ingredients incorporated. But you don't want to turn it up high enough where it's going to boil and burn. So this is nice and thick. This is like perfect consistency, but since you're going to cook it for a little bit, you want to add some more water to it. And cooking it longer just gives all those flavors time to come together and make something beautiful. So now it's nice and soupy, and as you cook it, it's going to come back to a thick texture, but it's going to be like stew. It's not going to be like soupy. It's going to be like stew texture, which is why it's called peanut butter stew or Domada. Then I learned my very first Domada recipe from elderly African woman. So 25 minutes later, you want to keep it on low. It's going to simmer and the oils are going to begin to separate, and that's how you know that it's pretty much done. Now, a lot of people do add some more vegetables in there as they're cooking, but I personally like to cheat and I like to cook potatoes on the side, carrots, whatever I want. With this recipe, I will be eating it in front of you guys, and so I think I will be doing some potatoes. Anyway, I hope you liked my recipe. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned so I can show you how I eat it. Thank you. Bye.